in the courtroom and enters the library, focusing on the intellectual battlefield of the 17th century. In the era of the literary war, the time when the belief in witchcraft was fought not with trials, but with books, pamphlets, and fierce arguments. During the reigns of James I and Charles V, two opposing armies of writers clashed over the fate of the accused, the believers' army. On one side stood the powerful voices of the believers. Writers, largely clergy and magistrates, supported King James's views and his book. They felt it was their duty to prove the existence of witches. Often by publishing sensationalized accounts of the latest trials, they used pamphlets to spread terror. These small, cheap publications, full of dramatic details about animal familiars and satanic pacts, were wildly popular. They taught the common people that if they doubted the witch trials, they were essentially doubting the Bible and the wisdom of the king. Their literature was designed to reinforce authority and fuel the hunt. The Skeptics' army, but on the other side stood a smaller, braver army, the Skeptics. They were inspired by the courage of the original challenger, Reginald Scot, whose book, The Discovery of Witchcraft, remained the central weapon for doubt. Skeptics argued fiercely that possession was fraud. They pointed out that many dramatic cases of demonic possession were mere trickery or hysteria, often faked by people seeking attention. Confessions were forced. They argued that the confessions of witches were meaningless, as they were extracted through illegal torture, starvation, and coercion. Science offered a better answer. They introduced new ideas that mental illness or natural causes, not magic, were behind the strange symptoms. The turning point. The intense literary clash had a profound, slow effect. As these books circulated, the general level of sophistication among educated readers began to rise. The common folk still devoured the terrifying pamphlets. Judges and educated magistrates started to read the skeptical arguments. This fight created a deep split in English society. The educated elite grew increasingly uncomfortable with executing poor old women based on flimsy evidence, the wild confessions extracted by people like Matthew Hopkins. By the end of this period, around 1660, the battle was still undecided, but the tide had begun to turn. The writings of the skeptics had planted seeds of doubt that would eventually blossom into reason, ensuring that the legal system could never again operate with the same blind, fearful conviction that had defined the era of the great witch hunts.